We're looking at this particular question, okay, and what we're going to ask is that are they independent? Now, there's an independence test. So, if they are independent, so if two events are independent, I think that's how you spell it, okay, then the probability of A intersection B, in other words, the probability of them both happening at the same time, is defined as the probability of A times by the probability of B. And that's the independence test. Okay, so let's pretend that these are independent. So the probability of A is 0.4 and the probability of B is 0.2. So in this context, probability of A intersection B is 0.4 multiplied by 0.2, which is 0.08. Okay, so we've now got a value for what we think A intersection B should be. But we've also got the standard formula, and the formula, as you know, is that the probability of A union B equals the probability of A plus the probability of B minus the probability of A and B. Remember, when we've got the two, we're counting them twice, so we have to take one set of that away. Okay, so now what we're going to do is just chuck our numbers in. Now, I already have told you that the probability of A union B is 0.52. So I told you that bit. I told you the probability of A was 0.4, and I told you the probability of B was 0.2, minus the probability of A intersection B. Do not, under any circumstances, use the number you worked out there. Because the question was, is it independent? Now, if I told you it was independent, if I said these two are independent, then you could now use that number. But I didn't tell you, so you mustn't use it. Okay? So now what you're going to do, you're going to use a bit of maths here. It's pretty obvious, I hope you can see. But what you're going to do is go 0.4 plus 0.2 minus 0.52 gives you that value. So that tells you that the probability of A intersection B is 0.08. Now these two numbers now match, don't they? Now what we're saying is, if they're independent, that's true. Is it true? Yes. So, yes, they are independent. Okay? If these two numbers were different, then the answer would be no, they're not. And that's what we call the independence test. If they're the same, then yes, they're independent. And if they're different, no, they're not. That's all you have to do. So you have to work it out. You have to assume they are, work out the answer, then use this formula to work out the answer again. If they match, they're independent. That's all you've got to do.